No, it doesn't look like that. It definitely looks like you have. I think it's just you and me probably on the call. We've had a few dropouts, I
Yeah,
think.
I've seen it.
Let me have a look. Just catching up on messages. Yes, okay. Okay, Alice, Twane, Iman, Rowan, Marne. I know that's here we go. I know that both Steph and Melissa have just been absolutely slammed with stuff, so that's why they haven't joined yet, but they're doing stuff in the
Here,
background, which is good. Hello.
Paul is here.
Paul, can you hear us?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
Just trying to Marlene. Hang on. Yes, I can hear you.
It was
We
pretty
can.
quiet this morning.
Yeah. Right. Yes, Marlene isn't well. What a few people not well, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that time of year, maybe. And
I
I've got an
know.
electrician banging in the background, but I'm
Have
well.
you? How annoying. This is my first day in my new office. You can't see it because it's all
Ah,
put out. But and it is actually very exciting. I'm gonna share a video of it on Instagram because it's super cute. It's like a little cabin in the woods.
oh,
I
Is
know.
it like part of the house or is it like a completely
No,
separate?
it's a separate place. So the house that we're in at the moment, there is a kind of a little granny annex that we were thinking originally we could use for an office, but the Wi-Fi is so bad in there that I just can't, you won't be able to get anything done. And it's tiny. So I was like, right, I need to find another little space. And this is literally 5 minutes around the corner. I think it's usually on Airbnb. It's just like a little one. I mean, it's a bed, it's a whole little house. It's got a bed and a kitchen and a bathroom, the whole thing. Um, but yeah, they've basically given it to me as an office because obviously I'm gonna use it long term, month by month. So far so
cool.
good. Anyway, I will share a video because it is very cute. Right. If everybody's feeling all right, shall we kick off? Talk to me. Who would like to go first? I think Margot, you were first on, so why don't you go? I think start with kind of your key progress points really over the last week and a bit. And then what you would like to set an intention around for the next week or so.
Yeah. So I guess achievement points. Private personal can come as well, or is it just like business related?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah, I just finalized my British citizenship application, so I feel
Oh
really
yeah.
proud of myself.
That's
After
cool.
13 years in the country, I finally decided to become a British citizen. But yeah, it's more admin bit rather than
Yeah.
because I was intentionally wanting to push this, but I never thought with a European passport I would apply for a British one, but I did
Yeah.
because you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was this morning. I was already in Farringdon to just do my biometrics, and I was very proud of
Yeah.
myself. By 10 o'clock, it was finalized, and it's a
Great.
long process with citizenship exams and stuff. So,
Cool.
so that's a massive achievement. And then, in terms of what I had on, I rewrote my LinkedIn profile, started to post again, which is more like trying to shift my business and the image of expertise
Yeah.
towards gut health, which is in line with the brand that I'm building. And and I also managed to get some meetings in with manufacturers. Still haven't found the one, but I'm in conversations with two of them that are promising. Not sure how it will go. I do find it way too long. Like I just want a quick turnaround and responses, but I find the small companies are not technical enough. Big companies are having really long processes with internal teams to get through to R&D and formulations and things like that. So I guess it's just part of the process. Thanks to Paul, I managed to set up a meeting with Bethan, who's the CEO of Mother Root. So thanks, Paul.
Amazing.
I'm going to
Yeah,
talk to
cool.
her on yeah, I'm going to talk to her on Friday. So I'm really looking forward to that and I'm going to prepare very well because I have 30 minutes with her. I need to be really clear on the information and yeah, that I need and yeah, very inspirational story they have. And yeah, I heard back from the design agency that I'm trying to work with, which is a very interesting concept because they are also investing in brands.
Okay.
We won't be able to afford them for sure. It's a London-based agency, but why we
Yeah.
attracted to them is because they're working with huge food brands. Not huge in the sense of generalized brands, but in the sense of if you look at the design, it's like a household staple. Like it's a very recognizable
Yeah.
design, and they're very original in the way they're approaching the brand storytelling. So I'm quite set on wanting to work with them, but obviously we can't afford them. So we're trying to see whether we can get an investment from them.
Yeah.
And it's more like a social enterprise thing because they're interested in companies that have a strong social impact. So we're going to
Okay.
see them in November. And then hopefully we can just say we don't have money, but hey, would you want to come on board and invest in us? Obviously, I need to prepare for that as well. But I
Okay,
think
that's very interesting. Do you know like what their investment model is, what they would typically take?
that's the thing
Any,
that I need to
yeah,
find out before I'm going into the conversation. I haven't found there's no information. It's the agency, you might know them, it's Big Fish.
yeah,
So
I've
they're
heard.
doing Maldon Salt, like all the River Food Company, which is like an organic company. They
Yeah.
have huge brands and they have one snack brand that they invested in. And I found their CEO, so I messaged her
Oh, brilliant. The
just
stone,
to
yeah.
kind of it's not like I want to investigate how that process goes, but like more like a soft touch in terms of like, oh, I'm on the same journey. And
Yeah.
by the way, I know that you're working with
Open
Big
some
Fish.
doors.
How is that, you know? But they were in a further state. They already had the product and the packaging, so they just redesigned for them. But I know
Okay.
they are part investors in sofa.com. So they're doing lifestyle brands and they're doing
Yeah.
food and beverage with a
How
strong social
interesting.
profile.
That's a
So
very interesting. I've not heard of that model before. That's
yeah, I think there are very few of them that are doing
hmm,
this. So
that's
they are basically risk sharing with the brand owners, which I find really interesting. Yeah, so I think it's worth to discover, but obviously
definitely.
everything depends on the cut that they're taking because I don't want to sell like obviously it depends on how I feel about them, how we feel about them, but also what sort of investment they're looking to give for what sort of percentage of the business. If
Yes.
that's on, I think they are interested, but I need to learn more about.
Yeah, that's fine. I think, look, I think the session on Wednesday is going to be super helpful to you because we're going to run this is what I was going to say on this call, but I'll put it on the WhatsApp group. We're going to run a co-creation session around business pitches. So,
Mm.
we'll create a kind of, a skeleton deck, if you like, or something that will help you to improve what you currently have. I think some people will have pitch decks or business plans or whatever. They're essentially the same thing, but there are certain things that you will always need to show in a pitch or a business plan that's going to help you to get in front of investors. It's going to help you to get in front of partners. It's going to convert clients, all of these types of things. So I just want to allow everybody some space to either work on that from scratch if they don't have one already, or to improve the one that they have currently. We won't get to the end, obviously, of creating the final version of it. But there is a formula and a recipe to this, and quite a lot of people either mix up the way in which it should be put together. They put in too much, they don't put in enough, or they don't put in the right things. So I think this after now we're kind of got to the end of week 3, end of this week, where we should have all gone through the clarity module. This will be your kind of foundation for them building out your content strategy, building out your commercial strategy, like all of that sort of stuff. So if you can make Wednesday, definitely come along.
Yeah, I was definitely planning to do that because I think we were very clear on certain things in terms of what we're standing for is crystal clear and
Yeah,
how we want to get there. And we implemented the data elements to the business, which I hope so, in terms of valuation, when you sell a
yeah,
food business as a data business,
yeah,
it can add to the value. We just need to do
definitely.
it very, I mean, my husband is in digital marketing, so he knows his craft, and
Yeah,
that's what I'm relying on. That's his
yeah,
thing. He's dealing with data on a daily basis. So we're trying to see what sort of data platform we can integrate on the back end. to make sure that it's from day one, and then it's in terms of valuation that it can add to the business's value.
Definitely.
Should we exit, but hopefully at some point, you know, can't believe I'm talking about exiting. I haven't even set up the business. You know, the optimism. And yeah, I mean that's it. I'm really trying to work on networking. It's not my forte. I've always been like a kind of like a loner. I'm a bit socially, you know, weird in that sense. So I need to make like a really strong thing. Like I like approaching people. It's more like the cringe thing of like asking for conversation. So I need to grow a thicker skin and just go in. And yeah, and I now kind of, my husband opened his black book, I started open my black book, like who else can we contact?
That's
And I've
great.
got a couple of people who've done the accelerator for Albright.
Okay.
And one of the ladies, I actually know her personally. She is set up Luna Daily. I don't know if you know them.
No.
It's a feminine product that is a microbiome friendly product that you can use on all your body instead of buying
Okay.
one for female parts and body parts. She's
Okay.
designed something that is everywhere.
Yeah.
She's really, really good. She used to be at Charlotte Tilbury, and then she left and she set up her own business.
Yeah.
Katie Cotton, you might heard of her. She's like a
Yeah.
rising star.
Yeah.
And then she set up Luna Daily. So I know her personally, and she had just had a baby. So probably when it all comes down a little bit, I would like to
Yeah.
pick her brain in
No,
terms of.
I think that's great. And I was saying to somebody else, several people the other day, that one of the best ways of networking, if you're a little bit awkward, is to try and go into adjacent spaces. And module 2 is a little bit about this as well. Obviously, your sort of go to market and networking is a big part of that. But going into adjacent spaces where it doesn't feel like you're trying to sell something, so it's not necessarily industry events that are specific to you. It's spaces where you think your target market might be hanging out, and then you kind of strike up a conversation, which is, I don't know, about your kids or about school or about whatever it may be outside of your business life. And they'll probably say to you, what do you do? And that's when you can start talking about it. So it doesn't feel like you are selling something to them or you're there to pitch anything, but everybody has a similar sort of mindset or might be dealing with some of the problems that you're designing a solution for. And you can start a conversation a lot more naturally doing it that way. It's a great way of kind of stealing a march on competitors as well, because they won't necessarily be hanging out there. So start to think a little bit more laterally about where your audience might be hanging out. And you know, this is what I did with Hopscotch. I went to like nail bars and school meetings and baby groups and all these sorts of things, and just left some flyers around. I mean, this was like 12 years ago, so don't really need to be leaving flyers, but you know what I mean? Like, just think where they are, and try and infiltrate a little bit. It's good for research as well.
Yeah, and the other bit is I'm working on a customer survey.
Yeah, great.
With the help of my sister, who's a market researcher.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do like a focus, kind of like a focus
Yeah.
group kind of survey thing.
Brilliant.
But she will help me like for the questions to be formulated in a way that it's not like answered in a biased way, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah.
And then I will send it out to, at least I need 100 answers. That's my focus right now. So it's slightly representative.
Yeah.
And it's really just to look into consumer behavior and needs. And I'm going to send it out to my school where my kids are. So the mom groups and my friend groups and family, because we're probably around the same age. Probably it's like, you know, the moms will be my main focus group. So every single mom group that I'm part of, I'm just going to use that and send it out, and probably
and get into like online groups and stuff like that. You know, go on LinkedIn and find your or Facebook and find your sort of local groups and introduce yourself that way. And it's a great way to, yes, obviously get some data and understand the people that you're trying to solve the problem for, but equally a great way to start building an email list so that you can take them on that journey, and when you're ready with different launches or trials or whatever it may be, they're already in. So those are all very good techniques for sure. Right, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing brilliantly. Had a good time. My electrician's nearly finished. I'm in the garden, which is the only place I can hear. But this next couple of weeks for me is going to be about properly developing and defining and refining the product as opposed to the consultancy side of things.
Okay.
I had a good meeting with Moms last week, which helped me
Yes.
to clarify a bit because she was saying things like, oh, we're in a similar space and this and that. And I'm like, no, I haven't defined my space well enough because she only works with
Yeah.
founders
No,
and
it's
I'm
not
not
really.
interested
Yeah.
in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also
So
your
it's not
background, I
really.
mean, I can't tell, I know, as I think I said on the first call, we worked together. We were sort of colleagues essentially, several years
Yeah.
ago in Singapore. So I know sort of what her approach would be, given everything that I
Mhm.
understand about her business now. And your backgrounds are so different. So I can't
Yeah.
imagine you're actually doing the same thing. That would be, you know,
Yeah. So that helped me to sort of think about how I talk about it and what I
yeah,
say. I'm definitely going for bigger companies. So when I say SME, I'm talking about maybe up to 500 people, that sort of thing.
okay.
Whereas she's more like up to 5 people, really early stage.
Yeah.
Definitely on the tech side, as you've said, that's where my history is,
Mhm.
and it's something that I enjoy and want to get back into. Whether it's training, whether it's a mix, whether it's a community, I'm not sure. That's the work. That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
It'll be training somehow. Just a case of how much of it is. Because I want to try and get this kind of, I think of it as a side product where it just keeps ticking along, so I don't have to be present all the time, and it just works
Yeah.
its way. Either people subscribe or whatever it is, a bit like your community.
Yeah. Oh, hello. I lost people. Hello, hello, hello.
I am here.
Oh, cool.
I think we might have lost Paul.
I'm here. I'm here.
Lost in the garden.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Hooray. Yeah, okay. So
All good.
really kind of what you're talking about here is the business model, really, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
if you know what your ICP is, do you think you'd be able to say at this point exactly what the problem you want to solve is?
The main problem I'm thinking of is this kind of mess that people have of these niche products. Like they'll have Monday, Workday, whatever it is, all these different things, Notion, work together. And you can use tools like Zapier and stuff, but that quickly gets quite complex and can get expensive. And I had a text chat with Rowan before she was as ill as she is now,
Yeah.
where she was saying all the things she wants help with and which apps and tying it together. And I was looking at MailerLite, which is one of the products that she uses. I'm more familiar with Kit, but they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think she can do a lot more with MailerLite than she realizes and those kind of things. So I've got to be careful not to copy or compete with Udemy and those kinds of bargain basement sites.
Mm.
So it won't be deep on any one product. It'll be more like, how do you tie them all together? That's the thing. Plumbing.
Plumbing, I do like that word. I think that makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense actually, because you can visualize that. And I wouldn't worry too much about the Udemy's and the what are those other sort of learning
There's loads of them, isn't there?
where they sell like, courses for $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they will always exist. If you want a very light touch, non-tailored, not
Mhm.
very sort of deep or consultancy based approach, then sure, you can go to that. But I think those platforms very rarely actually solve people's problems. They're probably a good starter. It's a bit like really
Yeah.
manual
Yeah.
or whatever, but then you've got to actually get on with the task at hand. And usually you need somebody to kind of guide you on that journey. That's because I've done a couple of those courses as well. And then I've inevitably gone with someone who I feel is a bit more of an expert and they've helped me put it all together, or whatever it may be. So don't worry about those platforms too much. I think it's just defining exactly what your problem statement is and who within those SMEs is going to be suffering with it the most.
Yes. Yes, that's helpful. Yeah. And
Um,
also there are people who don't have much time. So to sit down and do some training and motivate yourself takes a lot of energy, and these people don't have that. They want to just get answers, I think.
Yeah, and
So
exactly. And I also just think that what we found with Diversely was, as much as you can sort of train people around, we used to offer some like trainings around unconscious bias and stuff like that, which is utter nonsense, really. You can't train that out of people. Just at the beginning, before we realized that. And what we found was that when people then left those trainings, the manual would go in the drawer and collect dust,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
would never really look at it again. I think you've got to make it as particularly for something like this, which is so sort of daily actions. You use these platforms on a daily basis to get shit done.
yeah.
You need to help people get shit done quicker. I mean, that cannot be your tagline, but if it could be, it would be a
Well, I
good.
don't know. Some people appreciate the honesty. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some platforms you might get away with it. But yeah, I think it's that sort of a thing, like drilling down exactly who it is, who's going to pay, like who is being kept awake by that problem, who within a business is responsible for that. And they're like, oh my God, I'm sick of trying to find logins for X, Y, and Z. I'm sick of trying to buy new systems and scale it, and they don't all fit together. Who is that? Who is that person?
Yes. I think there's lots of them. I just need to find them. I hope
That's
so.
good. That's good. Who's willing to pay for it? Who has sign off? Who has the checkbook in their back pocket?
Well, that's one reason for going for smaller. So this thing on Wednesday has been 6 months in the making, and it's still a bit kind of vague and woolly. And that's the corporate sphere, I think
Yeah.
SMEs should have a decision time, hopefully.
Yes, they will. They definitely that your sales processes and sales cycles will be a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And also when you go for the bigger guys, you'll have to go, as you probably well know, you'll have to go through things like TPRMs, which will take a minimum of 6 months anyway to get sign off. So,
Thoughtful, isn't it?
if you're plugging anything in or messing around with their tech or their data,
Yes. Yes.
nightmare situation.
Well,
So
normally in the past, IT have taken offense that they weren't asked to do it as well. So then you get politics.
yeah, totally. So probably you want to look for businesses that are too small to have IT departments or compliance departments. There's definitely a window there, or a turning point, I think, isn't there, where you still got the founders actually trying to figure this out, or the
That's yeah.
suite, really, but they're big enough for it to be a massive headache. Maybe 500 is too big. Don't know.
It sounds too big. Yeah, it does. From what you were just saying there, maybe somewhere in between, maybe 100. I mean, I'm thinking of my current employers. They're say 100 in the main HQ team, and they've got one IT guy, and he more or less outsources absolutely everything.
Yeah.
That maybe 100's more of a reasonable thing.
Yeah, and you want a kind of slightly archaic, probably want to start with a slightly archaic industry as well, like
Manufacturing.
the legal industry, manufacturing,
Yeah.
something like that,
Legal.
where they're just a bit like, oh, it's all on spreadsheets or whatever.
Yeah. Or applicants, yeah.
I'm sure they don't all talk like that. Some of them do. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, you've got a bit of focusing to do there. I think for you, Paul, given you've already sort of been through the first cohort, I would probably skip to the last module and just go through that again. I feel like that's probably your bit where you're going to find some of these answers or some of these frameworks that will help you.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Well, there we go. Done and dusted for this week. I think we've got some things on I'll take some notes on this and I'll pop it on the chat as well. So yours are on there with everybody else's. And then I will see you on Wednesday for the co-creation session. And any questions in the meantime, you know where I am.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you.
Welcome. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Guys, cheers.
Bye.